sharing the agenda that we're going to go through this evening. Okay, good evening. It looks like we have about 100 participants joining so far. I certainly, as always, want to thank you for taking the time to tune in and for carving out this time to be as informed as possible as things continue to evolve day by day. I do want to encourage you, parents, to make sure to take some time to read through the blueprint to give you an idea of the safety protocols that are in place, as well as the protocols that will be in place not only district-wide, but within the classrooms, along with information on how instruction is going to look remotely for those who have chosen that avenue. As always, I will start with our current state, where we are as a school district and a community in relation to COVID-19. As a school district, I am very happy to report that we currently have 0 individuals in quarantine or who have tested positive. That is a tremendous improvement compared to the first time that we met virtually in the first town hall, where there were dozens of individuals who were either quarantined or tested positive. I truly believe that the precautions that we have put in place over the summer, because things have tightened up significantly since the beginning of summer, have certainly made a huge impact. Wearing masks, social distancing, washing hands have made a huge difference. I'm also pleased to share some positive information regarding the Seguin community. Currently, there are 6 individuals hospitalized in our local hospital. The average weekly rate as of today is 8 individuals. A week ago, that figure was 11, and a month ago, that was 38. The hospital was averaging about 1 admission per day. The first time we met, that figure was around 9 to 10. So we're seeing some progress. I believe that it's due to all of us ensuring that we're being safe, ensuring that our family members are being safe as well. It makes a difference. I encourage you to continue to follow the 3 W's: wash your hands, wait, safe distance, and wear a mask. Before I get started today, I ran across this article that I shared with the staff today. I do a staff town hall at 2 o'clock, and I wanted to share this with you before we went through the agenda. I found the words to be pretty powerful given the times that we are living in right now. And the title is Grace, Please. So the start of the school year, it's going to be hard. It is hard. It's borderline unworkable. I am friends with many administrators, superintendents, directors, principals. I used to be an administrator. I used to be a teacher. I'm a parent to kids in school. I'm a husband to a rock star English teacher. I work for an ed tech company, which is to say, I'm seeing and hearing it from every side. And one massive truth emerged: no one will be happy. Everyone is an armchair quarterback this startup of school. And they're sitting in their chair with a boatload of biases, experiences, and frankly, a lack of humility. No one knows how this will play out. Anyway, the narratives I mostly see are either from teachers, community members, with smattering stories from kids. What I don't see much of is a narrative from administrators, which I understand they have an intensely politicized job. But again, no one will be happy. And they're trying to triage a situation that results in the fewest casualties. I want to make a few suggestions for those of us second guessing everything from administrators with our limited view of the moving parts. Number one, show grace, please. Extend kindness, courtesy, and humility to your principals, administrators, superintendents, and board members. Assume good intent. Every administrator I know has a core truth. They care about people, not just students, but the entire village of learners. They want what's best. Yes, good intentions don't necessarily translate into good outcomes, but it still matters when looking at the individual. 3, know they're working their tails off, hours and hours, days and days, weekend after weekend. 4, understand they're making personal sacrifices. See point 3, people are finite. The hours in a week are finite. Giving time to work means taking away time from family, relationships, parenting, personal development, and friendships. Things in life that really matter. 5, recognize cognitive and skill limits. Administrators, like every group, come with a wide variety of cognitive abilities and skills. Sometimes they hit the wall on what they're able to accomplish. They literally cannot do more. It is what it is, and it's not wrong. When they hit the wall, see points 1 and 2. Give words of encouragement, that's number 6. Even if you're doubting what the administrator is doing, find an area of truth that you can embrace and then offer it back to the administrator with encouragement and grace. These words are gold to administrators. And for an administrator, their daily inbox is one long list of complaints. Words of encouragement help balance the scale. Number 7, understand that everyone has a boss. In school districts, that boss is eventually the school board. And school boards come in every shape, size, belief, bias, values, and abilities. Let me just say ours is awesome. Moreover, their understanding of how the world works, their common sense base, if you will, is like everyone else, being turned upside down in this COVID-19 world. Chaos doesn't necessarily bring out the best decision making. Here too is where you can give words of encouragement. Let board members know you sympathize with their challenges. Tell them the words of support you're giving to administrators. Board members need to hear words of grace as well. There are more, and this list could go on for a while. I mostly try and ground myself in a profound sense of gratitude for administrators working through the trenches right now. I am amazed at their fortitude. My hope is that we will all extend or continue to extend grace during this epic change in the world. I really felt that this was something that we could all reflect on and think about, not only from an administrator standpoint, but what our teachers are going through and experiencing as well. And it seems like the need for grace has intensified, but we find constantly that we're losing some ground when it comes to grace, when we need it the most. And we can't afford to lose grace right now when our kids haven't even started with us. So I wanted to start with that. And one of the things I am just so proud of about Seguin ISD, and this is certainly reading, this is not in response to anything with Seguin or a reflection of Seguin, the learning community here, because what I shared with the staff is that the community has given us grace. And what I'm seeing happening in other school districts is that those communities aren't providing the same grace that you all are providing. I'm just asking that you continue to give us grace. And as we prepare to open our doors, whether virtually or literally, to your children, that you give teachers grace. There truly are no words that can articulate the level of appreciation that I have for you all in the Seguin community, because you have been extremely patient and flexible throughout this process. So with that, I am going to move into the agenda, and if we have some time, I am going to open it up for Q&A. First, I'd like to give an update on online registration. I'm very proud. This number has gone up 200 kids since lunch. The number of registered students is 3,400. We continue to maintain about 45% of our students selecting remote learning, which I believe is a reasonable number. As I stated before, if we get into the 60-70% range choosing to come to school, we will have to come up with a plan B, as we cannot truly accommodate for that many students in this current phase of the pandemic. Please, please, if you have not registered, that's fine, but what we need is for parents to select a learning option, remote or face-to-face. If you've done so already, great. If you have not, please go in and do that portion. You can come back later to do the registration. Please remind your family members, your neighbors, your church mates to enroll today. Registration is open. If you have questions, contact the campus. I am so appreciative of the staff members who have already put out posts reminding their friends, community members to go in and select an option. It is so important for us to begin planning and building schedules and determining who is going to be a virtual teacher, who is going to be a face-to-face teacher. It's important that we have ample time to prepare appropriately. Again, that deadline to select remote or face-to-face is today. We also encourage you to register as soon as possible. The next item I'm going to talk about is remote learning. We are going to be getting together learning kits for our students. Today, I'm going to talk specifically about elementary learning kits. Next week, I'll share additional information regarding secondary learning kits. So for the elementary learning kits that are going to be available to parents, here is a sample for 5th grade. As you can see, for math, you are going to be equipped with a math workbook, star reference cards, grid paper, fraction tiles, place value charts. For literacy, you're going to have some additional resources. Now, on the far right side, parents, please keep in mind that this is what we're asking for parents to do on the far right, as far as the learning space and as far as supplies that are needed. And please note that those supplies are minimal for the remote learners. For example, for this 5th grade student, this student would need 2 number 2 pencils, a utility pouch, 6 composition notebooks, scissors, 6 pocket folders with brads and glue sticks. And if you're curious to take a peek at what it's going to look like for other grade levels, we're going to have the same thing in place for all other grades. And this will be shared ASAP with all of you. And you're probably wondering, how are we going to get these materials if we are opting for remote learning? There are going to be several options available. Every campus is going to have the opportunity to create their own schedule, whether these will be available at Meet the Teacher for pickup in a drive-through situation. They will work with you families. For those who are very concerned about stepping foot on at a school, there will be those opportunities for you to drive through and pick up. If you are experiencing a hardship, we will deliver the learning kits to you. We are not going to allow any children to go without important supplies. So I mentioned Meet the Teacher. You may be curious, how is Meet the Teacher going to look? I want to start by saying and helping the community understand the why, because it is going to look different this year. And we are asking for flexibility. We will make accommodations for certain grade levels to have the opportunity to come and have a face-to-face on campus Meet the Teacher versus other grade levels going virtual. Now you may be asking, you're doing virtual Meet the Teacher, but yet you expect our kids to go to a school? That doesn't make any sense. The reasoning behind that is that we could have, if we allowed our families and students to come to the campus. As you remember last year, it can be 2,000 people in an elementary school. When you think of Rodriguez and Kinnicky with 600 students, 1,200 parents, maybe an aunt, maybe grandparents, maybe siblings, that would not be a safe situation. So we are limiting the number of people who are coming in at each campus by going to a virtual Meet the Teacher. You may ask, well, why don't we break it up by grade level throughout the day or on different evenings? Well, I don't want to take 5 evenings away from staff members, and our teachers have work days and days that they're learning. If we scheduled all day grade level events, then we take away that time that our teachers need and that is so valuable. So it's going to look different this year, but keep in mind, this is just this year. This will pass, and this is only temporary. With Meet the Teacher, for in-person, the grades that are going to do in-person Meet the Teacher are pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, and sixth grade. Those are the grades that are transitioning to school. Pre-K transitioning to ball, kinder transitioning to their elementary, first grade, still very young, they're still little babies, and then sixth grade transitioning to middle school. You may be thinking, what about ninth grade? They're transitioning to Seguin High School. Well, we have over 500 kiddos in ninth grade. Then you factor in parents. That is still not a safe situation. So the high school is creating a plan to do that virtually. So in person for grades pre-K, K, first, sixth, so that our young and transitioning students have the opportunity to visit school. Sixth grade, Meet the Teacher is going to be held on September the 2nd at 5:30 at AJB and Barnes. For pre-K, September 2nd through 4th, teachers will set up times to meet with parents individually by appointment. For kindergarten and first grade, September 3rd at 5:30 for all elementary schools. It's open to all parents. So parents, if you are opting for remote learning, you still have an opportunity, if you feel comfortable, to go and meet the teacher with your child. We are guaranteeing that there's going to be plenty of social distancing. There will be sanitizer in place. I can guarantee it'll be a well-oiled machine. We really, really want all of our pre-K, kinder, and first grade kids to meet their teacher live, face-to-face. There will be temperature checks, there will be masks, there will be hand sanitizer, there'll be social distancing. You don't have a mask, we'll have a mask for you. Don't worry about it. For online Meet the Teacher opportunities, campuses are going to schedule those events and communicate those plans once finalized. It's going to look different campus to campus when it's virtual. We are going to allow our campus principals to work through their schedules to schedule those events. Now, even if you are a face-to-face learner, you also have the opportunity to do Meet the Teacher virtually. Perhaps your schedule is very busy, you can't go to the campus, or you don't feel quite safe yet, you don't feel like it's safe because you have all of those kids and parents in one room or in one space. You have that opportunity. So once again, remote learners, you can meet your teacher virtually or you can meet your teacher face-to-face. Face-to-face learners, you can meet your teacher virtually or face-to-face. Campus tours for students who are new to Seguin ISD will be made available by appointment. Some additional news I want to share with the community is our librarians have been hard at work this summer, really trying to develop some innovative initiatives to promote literacy. So I just wanted to share some things that they are doing, and I'm very proud of the librarians coming together under the leadership of Dr. Allison Williman. We are transitioning away from accelerated reader, and for many of you, that's all you've known since 20, even 30 years ago. I grew up with accelerated reading. It has not yielded the results that you would think a program of that cost would yield. It's not gotten us to where we need to be with literacy. I believe that we can do a better job without relying on accelerated reading. We'll have year-long challenges, millionaire readers, gold, silver, bronze readers. Many of you are familiar with that. Grading period, bingo cards, one card each grading period with different activities for face-to-face and remote. All-star readers, where teachers will nominate students who have shown a love of reading. Each grading period will select one student per grade level. Each campus will deliver yard signs to kids. We really want kids to be proud of being readers. We will also offer curbside library service to our students who are remote learners. If you are learning at home remotely, you will still have access to your school library. So I'm very proud of the fact that our librarians are going to provide that service. They are also going to offer evening opportunities for families who are opting for remote opportunities for them to go to the library when there are very few people. So please, I encourage you to take advantage of that service. Another reminder regarding the virtual town hall for tomorrow. If you are a parent of a student who receives special education services, I encourage you to attend our part 1 of 2 series virtual town halls on special education. What we want to do, because the services that we provide to special education students are so diverse and so unique, we are having 2 standalone town hall meetings for parents of special education students, because what we want to do is really try to paint as vivid of a picture of how your child's learning experience is going to look, whether it's virtual or in person. That first town hall is going to take place tomorrow at 5 o'clock. You have an opportunity to join me and the Director of Special Services for an opportunity to learn how the services are going to look for your child when school opens. You'll also have an opportunity to ask some questions within that time frame, and then you have an opportunity to come back and meet with us. Now, I have had the opportunity to communicate with parents of students receiving special education services. Parents of students receiving special education services, you have until next Tuesday evening to select your option for remote or virtual learning. I hope that you have an opportunity to tune in to that town hall. So finally, we have just a few minutes. I will take about 3 minutes to answer some questions. I have to log off promptly at 5:30 to go into a 5:30 Zoom meeting. So if you have any questions, if you can place them into the chat. Will there still be a dual language program? There will still be dual language. We are still going to offer dual language one-way and two-way dual language. It may look a little bit different with, It may look a little bit different with some students who have a teacher that's teaching content in Spanish online. It just depends on what enrollment looks like. The sooner we can have parents select remote or face-to-face, the sooner we can give you specifics. Another question was, are the teachers going to move from classroom to classroom, or are the students going to move from classroom to classroom? That depends. It depends on the feasibility. In secondary, it is hard to schedule all kids having the same classes to where you just move the teacher, because you have kids who are in band, who are in athletics, who are in choir, and so their schedules look different. But where we can do it, we will. When will learning kits be shared? That information is forthcoming. Campuses will put out when they are going to make those available. That is likely going to be the week before school starts. So please keep an eye on your campus's social media pages. Can you explain how GT services are going to look for elementary and secondary? GT services are going to look the same. You're still going to have the support from a GT teacher at elementary. It may be face-to-face, it may be virtual. As for secondary, we have teachers who are GT certified. They will continue to meet your child's needs and accommodate for those students who are gifted and talented. How will families get access to hotspots if you don't have technology? That information is coming up. There will be a sign up and there will be specific criteria that a family will have to meet in order to be able to check out a hotspot. Will we be able to walk our kindergartners to the class this is the first day? We really have to minimize the traffic that is going into a building. So it's very important that parents of kindergartners take the opportunity to attend Meet the Teacher, whether virtually or face-to-face, because we are going to limit the number of visitors in our school buildings. Campuses, if you have a high school student who is going to be learning remotely, your campuses are going to operate the same. If you are choosing remote, the high school campus will, just like at Barnes and Breezy Meister, we'll have a list of students who are opting for remote learning, and they will send those schedules to you electronically. They will also have opportunities where they will be, specifically the middle schools, providing learning kits to kids as well. And that is probably another opportunity in which you can pick up a schedule. Will online services be offered the entire year? I hope not, honestly. I hope that we get through this pandemic in the next few months. However, if there's no vaccine, no rapid testing available, it's going to continue. We will continue to offer online learning so long as we continue to deal with COVID, until we get to a place where we are in the green zone. And next week, I will share with you the different zones that a school will be in. And the green zone means we're 100% back. So until then, we will be operating as we are right now and offering remote learning. Where can we find the back to school blueprint? I've had several ask that. We will make sure that we share that. It is on our website. Go to the Seguin ISD website. We will also share that in its updated version on our social media platforms as well. I'm going to answer one more question. If you're face-to-face, can you switch to virtual before the end of a grading period, as long as you don't want to switch back? We are asking that parents stick to that grading period only in extenuating circumstances, and there will be some. Will your child's principal be able to deal with an individual case? But we are going to strictly follow that grading period guideline, because we've got to make sure that there are smooth transitions for kids, but for teachers as well, because there is a lot of work that goes into grade books and so many other things. And so it is going to be by grading period. With that, I am going to close. I greatly appreciate the 150 parents and community members who have tuned in this evening. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again, maybe tomorrow or next Wednesday. Thank you.